viewers, today I will talk about the crystals. As you know that crystals play a very vital role in our life, and today I will discuss about the science behind that crystals. Crystals play very important role in many subjects like chemistry, physics, material science, geology, geophysics, etc. Virtually all naturally occurring solids, that is minerals, are crystalline. A mountain crag normally is made up of crystals, and the study of crystals is known as crystallography. Crystallography is the key to understanding the structure of crystalline materials, the material that constitute nearly all the solid basic to 20th century technology. It is a branch of mineralogy begins in late 17th century which deals with the study of crystals and the law that governs their growth, external shape and internal structure. Crystals are bodies bounded by surfaces usually flat arranged on a definite plane which is an internal arrangement of atoms. Crystallography is a study that overlaps mineralogy, geology, physics, chemistry and biology and is a unifying factor among these sciences. The worldwide organization of crystallographers is known as the International Union of Crystallography, in short IUCR. Now, what is a crystal? A crystal has been defined as follows. A crystal is a body which by the operation of molecular affinity has assumed a definite internal structure with form of a regular solid enclosed by a certain numbers of plane surfaces arranged according to the law of symmetry. This is a very compact definition and several pages can be devoted to its discussion. A better idea of the fundamental law of crystallography will be obtained by first considering the three prominent modes of crystallization. Crystals are formed by crystallization either from a solution, from fusion or from a vapor. The first case, that of the crystallization from solution, is the most familiar to our ordinary experience. A crystal is a regular polyhedral form characterized by flat surfaces known as faces. The development of faces is the manifestation of the internal ordered arrangement of the atoms and depends on the physiochemical conditions that prevail at the time of formation of mineral by solidification of gas or liquid or precipitation from solution. Thus, a crystal is a special form of a mineral zone. In many crystals, a group of faces arranged in such a manner that their intersection edges are parallel to each other. Such faces constitute a zone. A line which passes through the center of the crystal and lies parallel to the line of the face intersections is called the zone axis. Now I will define unit cell. Faces of crystal bear a definite relation to internal structure patterns of atoms. These structural patterns consist of units. In each unit, there is a group of atoms linked in fixed spatial relationship to one another. Crystals are formed by the repetition of unit in 3 dimensions. The unit cell therefore is a teeny building block of crystals. It represents the smallest volume which possesses all the chemical, physical and geometrical properties of crystal. Now, what is the law of consistency of interfacial angle? In a crystal, the angle between the adjacent faces is called interfacial angle. Since the internal structure of any mineral is always constant and since the possible crystal faces of that mineral have a definite relationship to that structure, it follows that the phase must have also a definite relationship to each other. This fact may be stated as the angle between two similar phases on the same substance will always be same. Crystal notation. A system of notation has been developed by which we can describe the different crystal classes and the crystal forms. One of the important conceptions to this end is that of the crystallographic axes. Crystallographic axes. Crystallographic axes are imaginary lines or directions which a crystal to which the crystal faces are referred and in terms of which they are described. In the different systems, the axes vary in numbers, in their relative lengths and in the angle of inclination to each other. As a general case, we will consider crystallographic axes of the orthorhombic system. They are 3 in number, at right angle to each other, and each has a characteristic relative length. When placed in the proper position for description or oriented as it is termed, one axis called A is horizontal and perpendicular to the observer. Other axis called B is horizontal and parallel to the observer, while the third axis called C is vertical. The ends of each axis are designated by either a plus or minus sign. The front A and of the right hand end of B and upper end of C being positive, while in each case the opposite end is negative. If the axes are of equal length, they are all labeled as A. For example, in cubic system, the 3 equal axes are referred to as A1, A2, A3. When the crystallographic axes are not at right angle, the angle between positive end of B and C is referred to as alpha, between positive end of A and C as beta, and positive end between A and B as gamma. Representation of crystal faces. Since a crystal is a three-dimensional polyhedral form, a set of reference axes similar to those of solid geometry is used to describe the character of its constituent faces. However, the axes used in the crystallography are of definite length and are differently oriented, unlike those of solid geometry. The character and nature of the faces are expressed by intercepts, parameters, and indices. Now, I will describe these terms. First, I will take intercepts. Intercepts are the distances between the center of crystal, points of intersection of the crystallographic axes, and the point of intersection of the face and axes. Now, parameters. Crystal faces are described according to their relations to the crystallographic axes. A series of numbers which indicate the relative distance by which a face intersects different axes are called its parameters. A face which cuts all 3 axes at distance from the point of their intersection, which are relatively the same as the unit lengths of the axis, is said to be have parameter 1a, 1b and 1c. A face which cuts the 2 horizontal axes at unit distance and parallel to the vertical axis would have parameter 1a, 1b and infinite c. If a face which cuts the 2 horizontal axes at unit distance and cut the vertical axis at distance twice its relative unit length, it will have for parameters 1a, 1b and 2c. It is to be emphasized that these parameters are strictly relative in their values and do not indicate any actual cutting length indices. The indices are obtained from these parameters by taking the reciprocal and clearing the fraction. The indices are written in axial orders, that is A, B and C, and hence the letter A, B and C associated with the parameters are omitted. The indices of a phase consisting of a series of whole numbers which have been derived from its parameters by their inversion and, if necessary, the subsequent clearing of fractions. The indices of a phase are always given so that the three numbers refers to A, B and C axes respectively, and therefore ordinarily the letters which indicate the different axes are omitted. The pyramid which has 1a, 1b and 1c for parameters would have 1, 1, 1 for indices. The phase which have 1a, 1b and infinite c for parameters would have 1, 1 not for indices. The phase which has 1a, 1b and half c for parameters would have 1, 1, 2 for indices. A phase which has 1a, 1b and 2c for parameters would have 2, 2, 1 for indices. A simple form consists of a set of fixed number of faces which have similar characteristics, that is shape, size and crystallographic orientation. For example, a cube consists of 6 square faces, each of which intersects one crystallographic axis at unit distance and remain parallel with other two axes. Closed and open forms. A closed form is that whose faces enclose space and can exist alone. The cube and the octahedron in the cube system are both closed forms. Faces of an open form do not enclose space. In a crystal, an open form always occurs in combination with other forms. An example of open forms is prism. Crystal symmetry. Crystals are grouped together into different classes according to the symmetry which they show. The symmetry of the crystals is of three kinds, namely symmetry in respect to a plane, that is also known as plane of symmetry, symmetry in respect to a line, that is known as axis of symmetry, and symmetry in respect to a point, which is also known as center of symmetry, generated by reflection, rotation and inversion operation respectively. Now I will discuss about the plane of symmetry. A plane of symmetry is an imaginary plane which divides a crystal into two halves, each of which is the mirror image of the other. The plane of symmetry is also known as mirror plane and is denoted by letter small m, as capital P in some books also. A cube has 9 plane of symmetry. Now what is axis of symmetry? A symmetry axis is an imaginary line through a crystal about which the crystal may be revolved as upon an axis and repeat itself in appearance 2 or more times. During the revolution, the angle between two successive similar positions in space is known as the elementary angle of rotation. If the same view is repeated 2, 3, 4 or 6 times, The axis of symmetry is referred to as two-fold, three-fold, four-fold and six-fold respectively. The axis of two-fold, three-fold, four-fold and six-fold are also known as dyad, triad, tetrad and hexad axis. Now I will explain the center of symmetry. A crystal has a center of symmetry if an imaginary line is passed from some point on its surface through its center and a similar point is found on the line at an equal distance beyond the center, it is said to have a center of symmetry. The cube and octahedron possess a center of symmetry, whereas a tetrahedron does not. Now, classification of crystals into system. The crystals are classified into 6 systems, each characterized by a set of crystallographic axes. The 6 systems are isometric, tetragonal, hexagonal, orthorhombic, monoclinic and triclinic. The crystallographic axes of the isometric system are 3 in numbers, of equal lengths and make right angle with each other. When properly oriented, one axis is vertical and the other 2 are horizontal, one being parallel and the other perpendicular to the observer. Since the 3 axes are identical in character, they are interchangeable and any one of them may serve as the vertical axis. They are designated as A1, A2 and A3. Now, tetragonal system. The crystal of this system are referred to 3 mutually perpendicular axes. The 2 horizontal axes are equal, A1 and A2, and vertical axis is longer or shorter than the other 2. Now I am coming to the hexagonal system. In this system, there are 4 crystallographic axes. 3 of these are equal length and lies at angle of 120 degree to each other in the horizontal plane. These are designated as A1, A2 and A3. The 4th axis is vertical and either longer or shorter than the other axis. Now, next system is orthorhombic system. The crystal of this system have 3 mutually perpendicular axes of different length. They are designated as A, B and C. Now I am coming to the monoclinic system. Crystals belonging to monoclinic system are referred to 3 axes of unequal length and designated as A, B and C. As in case of orthorhombic system, however, an axis inclined to the plane containing B and C axis. The angle between B and C as well as A and B is equal to 90 degree, but the angle between C and A axis is not equal to 90 degree. Now I am coming to the triclinic system. Triclinic system. There are 3 axes of unequal length, all intersecting at oblique angle. Thank you viewers for listening me.